The pimp on a blimp recently went to Lake Tahoe, and I was flying back, and you know how I do it. I'm in the Amex Lounge getting those deviled eggs with my baby Pre, getting them Fruit Loops, because we're about to go first class. That's right, pimp on a blimp. We in row 3A and B, first class. We get recognized because, you know, I'm a pimp on a blimp. They know who I be. And then look at this. We're just chilling like a villain with my baby prepaid wireless, enjoying our lifestyle of the rich and famous. But it ain't easy being greasy, baby. We still gotta fly, and you know we don't wanna die. So this is me and my baby getting some orders in. We're just about to order our lunch. You know, I'm getting that vegetarian lunch. We're having fun. We got the freaking tray down. We got spread out. We got it made in the shade, baby. Then we get our freaking 5-star meal. That's right, we got that tortellini with cheese, please. And you know, I got that Red Devil cake, dog. And then we about to land all the way back in DFW from Lake Tahoe. It was a nice flight with my baby. Thank you to American Airlines and prepaid. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself, why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. I'll break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Primetime with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and tonight's episode is going to be so fantastic because we have a WWE Diva superstar legend in the house, the one, the only, Candice Michelle. Candice, welcome to the show.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me.
And you have the coolest outfit of any of our guests right there. Look at this. I mean, look at that.
Woo! That's the iconic GoDaddy dance.
That is the GoDaddy dance.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Before we get into your WWE career and your modeling career and, you know, your long list of achievements, you were the GoDaddy spokeswoman, the first one.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was amazing. I just remember auditioning via satellite. Back then, that was like unheard of.
So not like a self-tape. You're telling me you had to go to like a studio and do it through satellite?
For a TV.
Okay.
And they interviewed people from Miami, Chicago, New York, and LA. And I land this gig, and of course I'm excited. It's a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah. You know?
And this is in what, 2000?
You know, I'm not quite so sure.
What I'm saying, this is kind of the earlier days of the internet.
Yeah.
You know, this is, you didn't even know how big, did you know how big of a company GoDaddy was, I guess?
It wasn't a big company.
It wasn't a big company. So
So I was just happy I landed a Super Bowl commercial. I know I'm going to make residuals on this. And the commercial airs, and they're supposed to have it 2 times.
Okay.
But the second one doesn't air. So I thought, oh, they just didn't pay for it. Because, I mean, it cost back then, I think it was like $4 million a commercial. Yeah. So I thought, oh, you know, maybe the budget didn't allow for it twice. Well, they pulled it because it was so controversial. So the next morning I had like 80 messages, and I thought somebody passed away.
Jimmy, do we have that? Do we have the commercial?
Yeah, we were going to have it in B block.
Well, I know, but we accidentally went to it because she brought up GoDaddy. So play that real quick.
You brought up GoDaddy.
It doesn't matter who brought it up, Jimmy. Just play the damn GoDaddy commercial. What the hell? What the hell?
Yes, I'd like to be on a commercial.
And what will you be advertising?
GoDaddy.com.
This is so legendary.
It's a website where you can register .com names for only $7.95 a year.
And what exactly will you be doing on this commercial?
I could do a routine where I went like this.
Surely by now you must realize that you're upsetting the committee.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset the committee.
May I suggest a turtleneck?
Why don't we have good commercials like that anymore?
Honestly, that was so much fun.
And there were so many layers to that. You had all of the senators or congressmen, all the politicians. They had the oxygen machine. They had like the bitchy woman.
They were censoring me way back then.
And then you were referencing the Janet Jackson thing. Is that what that was? So is that why they scrubbed the commercial after that?
Yeah, because the year before Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, with Justin Timberlake, wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah.
All right, ripped that off.
We did the parody of it, and apparently that was very controversial.
And they didn't watch it before they paid the before they accepted the money?
I feel like they did. I don't know, it was wild.
And where was that filmed, in California?
Yeah. Actually, I woke up so sick that day, like with the flu.
And you still got to go to work.
Girl, yeah, you got to go. You got to do what you got to do.
You got to work. Okay, real quick, before we get into all this, I forgot something. I got to have you sign this waiver, and you got to read it out loud so that people know that it's legally binding 100%. So just realize what you're signing.
Okay, Prime Time with Alex Stein, participation waiver. I, Candice Michelle, agree to participate in Prime Time with Alex Stein.
Yes.
Assumption of risks. I understand the show involves inherent risks of bodily injury, including but not limited to bruises, burns, beheading. Oh,
What?
no.
What?
No.
What? You have to sign it. Legally, you have to sign it.
Pudding wrestling
Yes, you have to agree to pudding wrestling.
and butt water. Butt water.
Butt water. You remember butt water. We're going to get into butt water. You know what the butt water is.
I definitely don't know what butt
Okay,
water is.
well, we'll show you that. You were involved in a very famous butt water situation, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
When you least expect it. Well, they did say I have a shower in my green room.
You do have a shower, and you have. Did you notice you're here on our potluck day? Did you get any of the delicious Thanksgiving?
No, but that looked wonderful.
Go have some. You didn't have it, Jimmy. Why wouldn't you have our guests make some of the damn Thanksgiving food?
I offered it to her. She said she got bread Zeppelin.
It was so good.
You don't even want a piece of pecan pie or something to wash that bread Zeppelin down?
No, thank you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, release of liability. I hereby release and hold harmless Blaze, Alex, and all his producers except Jimmy.
Yeah, except for his dumb ass.
You can
do whatever
stomp
you want.
on his testicles. I really don't care. I agree to rip smelling salts and Shakeweight with Alex. Oh, you.
This is what we do. So we like to do a little. I know you're a fitness buff. So we do a Shakeweight. Ah! Now we get ready for the show. Ah! Now we get pumped up. Ah! Ah! Now I'm ready for the damn show. If you want a little, you want to try it.
Okay.
For fitness purposes.
Fitness purposes.
And then you gotta hold this in the other hand. You gotta kind of. Terms of service violation. Make sure to put a blur in right now. Candice. You can't.
Wow, that shit's strong.
I know that's the good stuff.
Wow.
It's
That's seriously
I order it.
actually really legit.
I order it straight from the Philippines. You can't have this. This is illegal in America. Atomic Rhino.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay, so we got the waiver done. We
Okay.
got everything done. Real quick, we need to talk about a little bit of a trending story. Actually, a very trending story.
Okay.
Alex Jones created InfoWars. The government has given him a $1.4 billion injunction that he has to pay the families of Sandy Hook. Very tragic situation. And there's a rumor that The Onion bought it, but this is not the case, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, he just announced that The Onion did not buy it, but we don't
Yeah.
really have any more details.
Yeah, we're not sure who bought it yet, but apparently not The Onion.
Okay, well, first question, Candice. Do you think 9/11 was an inside job perpetrated by people within the United States government?
Yes.
Correct answer. What are some of your favorite conspiracies, like chemtrails, or do you think that the atrazine in the water is making men more feminized and homosexual?
Definitely chemtrails. I believe climate change is made up.
Yes, I agree.
Obviously, vaccines cause autism.
Well, let's not say that. Vaccines are safe and effective for you, too. They're very safe and effective. Every vaccine that you take is very good. And if your doctor prescribes it, take it, because a doctor is better than Candice and I. And we love vaccines. And Dr. Fauci, if you're watching this, I love you and I miss you. And I would do anything to have you back in my life. And I would have anything for a free vaccine. I would actually, the newest vaccines coming out, right, Jimmy? So the new COVID-19.
Absolutely. We're all
If you want to
getting
get it,
boosted.
you can get it for free at any CVS. We're very pro-vaccine here. They're very good for you. They're very healthy. Get as many. No, quit hitting that button. They're very good for you. Get as many.
Jimmy's fully boosted.
You know, CVS, if at Thanksgiving, if you go get the COVID booster, you get a free turkey filled with extra hormones. So if you're going to get it now.
That's what I'm saying. And you already have the hormones from the vaccines, or the hormones from the turkey can't hurt you. So that seems like a win-win. There's a lot of people on their Thanksgiving. They're probably struggling to be able to afford a turkey in this inflation era of the Biden inflation. And you know what? We love it. Thank you, CVS. You do so much good work by vaccinating all of us for free. And I would love to know a business model where you give out free turkeys for us taking a medicine. I'm still confused how that works mathematically. So they pay us to take it, but then Pfizer makes money from that.
Interesting.
I know. Hopefully, what do you think about RFK?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
You know RFK, right?
Yeah. I've been following him for close to 15 years, just with all of his research around vaccines and big pharma and all of that. And so he's been an instrumental play in the health style that we
really
live.
is. And he's in good shape. The last health secretary, they were transgender, Jimmy. They didn't know their gender. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
Rachel Levine.
Rachel
Yeah.
Levine, yes, Dickie Levine, who was in the Navy, I believe. Or wasn't Dickie Levine in the Navy?
In some sort of military. I'm not sure if it was the Navy, but
The gay one.
they're all pretty
The Navy
gay.
is the gayest, but we love our armed forces, and we appreciate even the Navy sailors out there. I know you guys get a bad rap, but when you're in a submarine underground like that, these prison rules. You know, sometimes you just gotta close your eyes and try to enjoy the boat ride and, you know, find the small pleasures in life, I guess you'd say. Speaking of small pleasures, have you guys heard of Angel Studios' new movie, Bonhoeffer? Is that right, Jimmy?
Correct.
Angel Studios' new movie, Bonhoeffer, pastor, spy, assassin, tells the story of a moral hero who stood up to Hitler as few did. The movie is a powerful antidote to the rampant anti-Semitism seeping the world today. Is that sweeping the world or seeping? That doesn't...
Yeah, I think that should have been sweeping. I just copy and pasted it.
Damn it,
let's-
Jimmy.
Maybe maybe they meant seeping. It's seeping into the society.
I guess that could... What do you think, Candice? You think it was supposed to be sweeping through or seeping into?
I actually think seeping.
Okay, well then
Yeah.
Candice is a pro. Candice is an actual actress and a famous person, so she would know. So this is why Angel is doing something a bit unexpected, announcing free tickets for anti-Semites. You heard that right, Nick Fuentes. People who are still stupid enough to hate Jews for being Jews can watch Bonhoeffer completely free. After all, who needs to better understand the evil of anti-Semitism than anti-Semites? You think you're the kind of person who won't need a free ticket, but you can find show times and share a free ticket with an anti-Semite who badly needs to see this movie by going to angel.com, free tickets. There are probably a lot of anti-Semites that watch this show, Jimmy. Did you think about that?
I mean, I'm going to get my free ticket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I am
Even if you're
going,
not
and
anti-Semitic, just go get your free ticket.
Yeah, I'm going to go do some horrendous stuff at the AMC to get my free ticket.
That's the only way to stick it to another Jewish person is get something free from them.
Exactly. It's very unlike them to give away free things.
That's why we should take advantage. So everybody go see Bonhoeffer. It opens in theaters on November 22nd. Order your tickets now. Speaking of that, why are there no famous Jewish wrestlers, Candice?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not.
Name one. Hulk Hogan's a MAGA Christian now.
Yep.
Did you see that? He's had a whole
Yeah.
transformation.
Yeah, I've seen him in church before.
You've seen him
Years
in church.
ago.
You and him were in church together.
Yeah, I walked into my church when I lived in California.
Still California. Everybody hates, like, you don't have to be ashamed. California was a beautiful state, is a
It
beautiful
was.
state. It's just overran with bad administration
Yeah,
and
that's
bad
true.
leadership.
Yeah. And I went to my church called Agape and just going in for my church day. And I was like, Hulk Hogan's here and his buddies. Like, this is wild. So it was just pretty cool. So he's been a Christian for a long time.
I love Hulk. He's probably my favorite, you know,
Yeah,
as a kid.
same.
But I don't even want to get into it. I got a little personal heat with him. You know, I don't even want to get into it. But a friend of mine is friends with him, and I've been trying to talk to the Hulkster, and he just keeps on avoiding me. So if you do talk to him, tell him I'd like to have a word with him. But other than that, wrestling, I think, is probably the best representation of American culture. And I don't mean this disrespectfully, also fast food. I know that sounds weird, but like McDonald's is kind of a part of American culture. Like
Yeah.
everybody's eating a burger. And everybody, even women, my mom loved it. My mom and I went to WrestleMania when they had it in Dallas. I'm just saying, women like wrestling, men
Yeah.
like wrestling. It's universally loved. What was that like being a part of the biggest wrestling promotion in the world? You said at first it was kind of like joining a fraternity, you were nervous. I mean, what was that like?
Well, I just think for me, because I didn't go to college, it was like my college. You know,
Yeah.
you're going there and you got all kind of different people and characters. And so just being around, it was honestly so incredible. I remember Vince McMahon saying, I give you a platform, it's up to you what you do with it. And they hired me on to, you know, pretty up the business.
Yeah.
But I watched it as a kid. And I went to an event, I will never forget. I was on the entranceway with my stepdad, and the Bushwhackers came out, stomping
They're
out.
awesome,
And
yeah.
I was like, this is so cool. And I raised my hand, and he tagged me in. I didn't know he actually tagged me in.
But not right then, you know,
but 20
later.
years later,
Yes.
I was
That was a
like,
vibrational tag in.
Totally.
No, seriously, he gave you that vibrational energy, and then somehow the universe spun
made
together.
it happen.
And then next thing you know, you're there. Okay, well, real quick, I wanted for the audience that I'm a huge wrestling fan, but they might not know the terms like kayfabe,
Yeah.
what a work is, what a gimmick is. With these terms, and like kayfabe is when the wrestler stays in character. And I used to love these stories when I think it was The Undertaker went on. What was that talk show he went on and he stayed in character? It was like, gosh, I'm trying to think if they asked him about steroids and they all got mad at him. But there's also stories where like Mark Calloway, one of the best guys ever, when they would see him at the airport, he would stay in character.
Yeah.
And I respect that, staying in kayfabe. So at WWE, did they ever tell you, hey, you can't break kayfabe? Or what was?
Totally.
So there was kayfabe. How did they explain the kayfabe rules? And kayfabe is, for the people playing at home, that's when you're in your gimmick. You know, that's kayfabe. And then when you're a shoot or whatever is when you're normally just being yourself. So tell us about what they said to you about staying in kayfabe.
Well, they don't really teach you. You just kind of are thrown to the wolves, and you better figure it out real quick. But whatever you are on TV, you are when you travel. You are when you get your luggage, when fans come. If you're a heel, you're healing those fans. You are that person, which is wild because when I got out of the WWE, I was kind of like, who am I?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Candice Michelle, which is like this exemplified version of me. And I was like, you gotta like really kind of do some serious emotional work to see who you are.
Searching, because you kind of get caught up. Because sometimes I do that to me. I have this persona where I say I'm primetime 99 pimp on a blimp, but I'm really not like that. You know what I'm just saying? I'm really kind of just don't even want to be the center of attention. Sometimes I do. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like it's hard to turn it on and off. But when it comes to storylines, you had some incredible, famous storylines, some controversial ones to say the least. But how did they ever tell you, like, hey, you're going to be a heel, you're going to be a baby face? Would you ever, say, hey, I want to be a baby face, I want to be the heel? Like, how did that? Yeah. How did they turn you into a villain, or do you turn yourself into the villain?
A little bit of both. So they kind of take who you are and try to exemplify it. And as things change in your life, they change that as well. You know, so if something's happening crazy, like so-and-so's dating so-and-so, guess what the storyline is on TV?
Yeah.
That's all on TV. Usually the girls kind of come in a little baby face until you kind of make that decision to turn. But you can also pitch to the networks. You know, you can pitch and say...
You can say, Vince, this is the angle I want to shoot, or this is what I want to do, and he'll listen to you.
Well, not always, but you have the opportunity to bring it to the table. You know, and if you can show them, like my star wand gimmick was awesome. We would get our outfits at stripper stores. We'd be traveling on the road, get into a stripper store, and it was Halloween, and I found this stripper wand, and I'm like, I want to use this like Triple H uses his sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell does something like that?
That's awesome.
But I believed in it, and that wand got over, and it became famous for, being this weapon that I used to win.
And people might not know that term. Get over is when the crowd likes you. They buy the gimmick. They support you.
Yeah.
So how hard was it to get over in your career, Candice? What was the moment that you felt that you finally got over?
Yeah, it's really hard because they know when you're just there for a paycheck or if you love wrestling. And in the beginning, it was just like, oh, these pretty girls just kind of showed up. She knows nothing about wrestling. And then I was going to the arena 2 hours early every day and training, and they saw that. And then I was getting in the ring. They're like, wait, she's learning to wrestle. And I'll never forget this day. They were like, connect with one person in the audience, and you'll connect with everybody. And I remember looking at this kid, and I was just like, you got me, I got you. And I fought out of the hold, and the whole crowd fought. And it was that moment where I was like, they believe in me for the first time.
That's the best advice I've ever heard. If you just can make one person love you, you can make the whole, everybody else love you. That is genius, because I go out on stage a lot, and I was recently, I'm not trying to brag, I opened up for Tucker Carlson in front of 13,000 people.
Oh, amazing.
But I'm saying that was kind of my problem, finding somebody, who am I looking at, judging.
Yeah.
It's like you probably should focus on, like, if you can
Just
get
one.
If you can get that one guy on your side, then it'll probably have, a domino effect on the audience. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, well, you're like me. You're so happy that Donald Trump is our 47th president. He's going to be inaugurated on January 20th. You are acquaintances with Donald. You've known him for years, obviously, a big supporter of him. So what was Donald Trump like, who's also a WWE Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, he came in there, he's professional, he's poised, he's a gentleman, so nice to meet you. I mean, he's everything that I would think he would be, not what the media has made him out to be.
Well, who convinced him to take a bump? Because I think he took a bump. Didn't he go through a table?
You know what? He's committed. He's committed in everything he does. So if he's going to come out for something like this, he's going to make sure that he looks good. And he knows if he wants to get over with the wrestling fans, he's going to have to take a bump, right? And so he's just a smart, brilliant businessman, and he knew what he had to do in that moment, and he did it.
And that's why we freaking love Donald Trump, because he has like that sensibility to realize, hey, I want to, even though I'm a billionaire, even though I'm this wealthy guy, I'm going to go and do wrestling because that is what that's Americana. Wrestling is Americana. Did you ever wrestle overseas in Japan or anywhere else?
Yeah, many countries.
Just on tour, you go on. They talk about that international flight. They say everybody would get so messed up and the plane almost crashed. The one with Brock Lesnar. You weren't on that.
I wasn't on that one.
But I'm sure you had some similar.
It was wild. You know, I mean, we have a whole charter. You know, so it's all of us wrestlers, and we're all going over there, and so we had so much fun. But my favorite trip was I was honored to go to Afghanistan and do the tribute to the troops.
Just meet with the troops. You didn't wrestle though, did you?
I wrestled over there.
They put up a ring and everything. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's really cool to put up the ring and we get to go meet them. They took us to the front lines. And I was thinking, yeah, they're taking us to the front lines, but you don't really think, oh, they're going to take us to the front lines. And then we're in this like Black Hawk helicopter and they're coming down. They're like, okay, when we land, get behind me, huddle behind me. And like you hear bombs going off and they got their rifles out and they're rushing me into barracks. And I was like, is this for real or is this like a show because we're over here? I was like, whatever, I'm listening to whatever you tell me to do.
Yeah, no, it was for real. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what was really cool about being over there is, and that was a long time ago, but I remember asking the troops, the ones that I had the honor to meet, on how they felt about being over there. And they all were so happy to be over there fighting for this country. And it was just taking what I could do to a whole nother level. Like, you're fighting for my freedom, for my safety, for my family. And the fact that we could just go there and do a little something to bring home to them was an incredible experience for us.
Have you got tested for cancer from the burn pits that you were subjected to?
Well, you know, I live a very healthy lifestyle.
No, so you are holistic.
I do biochargers, and I'm on liver cleanses, and I've got all that stuff flushed out of my body.
Burn pits can affect people differently. But speaking of something that affects you, Fox and Oden. Do you ever want to stay up late, pound whiskey, and watch Candice Michelle get spanked by Vince McMahon? You'll love this product. Fox and Oden was founded by a new generation of whiskey makers to honor and preserve the masterful legacy of pre-prohibition whiskey blending and finishing. Their distillers use only the finest ingredients to craft ultra-premium whiskeys that are rich, complex, and unforgettable. This season, let these perfectly blended spirits complement the holiday view. A warm fire, a shared meal, packages wrapped and ribboned and left under a tree. However you celebrate, enjoy it to the fullest with double gold, award-winning Fox & Oden Craft American Whiskey. Buy online at foxandoden.com and use code America for free shipping. That's foxandoden.com, promo code America to get that free shipping. American made, American proud. Go buy some of that so we can keep the show on the air. We need to support our sponsors. Now, let's get in.
We got a $20 super chat before we get into
What'd they say?
From CL Rubs. Pimp on a Blimp for Firmament Exploration 2025. To go
yeah. What do you think the shape of the Earth is, Candice? You think it's round or flat?
Oh, flat? Wow, I'm winning.
You know everything. Thank God. Over there, Jimmy and Brandon, they're freaking round earthers. They don't realize we can see too far, and the North Star. They're such idiots. I'm happy that you, me, and Vince McMahon are all.
Don't put me in the same category as Jimmy.
No, I didn't know, but I don't know that I got spanked by him. Did I get spanked by him?
I think you did. Here, let's check out. Is this shot number 3? Do we have the spanking video, Jimmy?
We do, but that's a little further down.
Okay, well, let's play shot number 3. This, and then, Jimmy, should you come out here now?
Let's watch the video, and then I'll
let's
walk
watch
out.
this, and then we'll bring Jimmy out.
And Candice.
Now, this is intense. This is not fake. For all you people that say wrestling's fake, there's nothing fake about this. And people don't realize that's about 4 or 5 feet off the air. I mean, so you're getting kicked in the back, just falling off there. And even though there's that mat's not that soft.
Oh, no, it's like this thick and like firm mat.
And you're flipped over the rope and getting kicked in the back. I mean, it is really tough.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me this, though. When it comes to real and fake and shoots, how many shoots? Because what I want you to do to Jimmy, I know I don't want any kayfabe. I want this to be a shoot.
Did Jimmy sign this waiver?
No, Jimmy signed, okay. He's legally liable for everything. But my point is, with you wrestling, you did some, obviously that wasn't a shoot, I don't think, but did you ever have a shoot where a girl tried to really hurt you?
Yeah, there was one time where when I was going after the women's championship title, she did not want me to win the title because she came up in the indies, you know, came up wrestling in wrestling school. And here I was just,
A beautiful model. Yeah.
you know, she's like, you don't deserve this. So she wouldn't go over the match with me. And we had to go out and do the match. And I was like, okay.
Well, isn't there a boss
guess-
above you though? Because I mean,
Yeah, they weren't doing anything. I was like, well, I guess it's me and you, kid. And what I know is I knew more about fighting in a street fight than I did actual wrestling at the time. So if you want to go fight, let's go fight. And we went out there and we ended up having a great match. And it was a really brilliant learning time because when you can go out there and just listen to the crowd, that's where real talent is made. And so I actually thank her for being so hard to work with because it made me have to do that.
Did y'all become friends after?
No.
That's the Hollywood lifestyle. Okay, so now I want you to do a shoot. Jimmy is my producer. He
Okay.
went to Princeton. He annoys the hell out of me every day when I wake up. It's a new text message about a new problem. Oh, and he takes his daughter to bars all the time. And his, and his
how
daughter.
old's your daughter?
She turns 1 this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what you get. Jimmy, that's what you get. Jimmy, this is what you get for being a bad dad. Oh, no, get up, Jimmy. Oh, my gosh, he got you. Fireman's carry into the church. Get him.
Count!
Get him.
Count!
Get him.
Count! 1, 2, 3! Come on!
1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
You got some blood. You got some blood. Okay, I got some.
Ready? Oh, shit! You're gonna take this! You're gonna take this!
Hey, Jimmy, you got blood on your face. You got the blood.
Right in your head!
Jimmy, this is the blood. Like you cut yourself. Act like you're bleeding. See?
Don't you ever take her to a club again!
Jimmy, stop taking your daughter to a damn bar!
I'm sorry.
Apologize for taking my daughter to a bar!
Don't ever do that to our children! I'm sorry!
All right, that's enough. Get out of here, Jimmy. Good. Finally, Jimmy learned your lesson. Get out.
Did you heard him?
Out of here.
Are we going to do the somersault?
No, Jimmy, do not go over. We're done. Listen, Candice and I have a lot to talk about, Jimmy.
I think we have some technical
Oh, yeah,
difficulties.
Chris. Sound engineer. Okay, wait. I think this is where he clipped it.
Okay.
Up here. Oh, yeah, I don't
Thank
need it.
you.
Now I have all that. Jimmy, you didn't even know how to do the kayfabe with the fake blood. I think it's on there, Chris.
Am I good?
Alex, Jimmy was so excited to do that all day. That's all he was talking about.
I know, that's kind of bad. And Jimmy's...
That's the best moment of my life.
Jimmy was so excited to meet you, Candice.
He's so sweet.
I know, he's a little too sweet. Like, I think he has autism or something. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain.
And my wife's watching. Babe, the best moment of my life was marrying you and having our daughter. She's a big fan, Candice, my wife of WWE.
Tell her I love her.
No,
true?
she actually
Carrie
she
likes-
grew that match where you got like a high five. She actually was there.
Wow.
Yeah, she got high fived by
the
like Miss
Bushwhackers
Elizabeth.
match?
Yeah, she was there.
Wait, she was in the audience.
Yeah. So my wife and her probably might have been at the same match.
Well, I guess your wife's from Illinois and you're from Wisconsin. I mean, I guess maybe.
Maybe. Wow, that would be crazy small world.
Yeah.
When you eat a bunch of cheese curds and you get constipated, what is the best remedy to get rid of
Yeah,
constipation?
I don't eat that at all. No.
What do you eat?
Well, I start my day off.
We gotta get up, Candice.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh, technical difficulties. Okay.
Oh, you
there we
got
go.
blood on my chair, Jimmy.
Yeah, we
I'm
don't wanna get it
sorry.
on-
Come on.
Oh, Jimmy said.
Be a professional.
Jimmy,
I'm
you're
sorry.
fired.
I'm sorry.
No, but seriously, you are health and wellness, so you don't
Yeah.
eat garbage like that.
No, not regularly.
What is kind of your diet? Then?
I wake up to bulletproof coffee, so
That's
I do
good.
intermittent fasting for
That's the
16
best.
hours. Then I do a liver flush with olive oil, lemon, creatine, sea salt, and ginger.
Yeah.
Then I'll have
You do the saltwater flush every morning.
Yeah, I started off with doing
that
it for
does help the
21 days
What do you mean?
because it regenerates your entire liver.
It gives autophagy or whatever.
It will, yeah, it'll take a fatty liver and make it perfectly healthy in 21 days. But it
Like
gave
doing
me
the saltwater flush.
yeah, salt water or salt,
And then
lemon.
yeah, but I'm basically like a mineral flush.
Yeah.
Kinda.
It'll completely regenerate your liver in 21 days.
Jimmy, buy me all the ingredients that you just listed. I need to regenerate my liver. My
Well,
liver is
actually,
doing
our
bad.
next
But I felt
sponsor
so
later.
good. I do it every day now. Like I just continue to do it.
Well, I get made fun of so much, Candice. I don't even like to admit this to a nice woman like you. I'm a vegetarian. I eat eggs and I eat cheese. I don't eat meat.
Wow.
I'm a soy boy.
Oh. You should not admit that ever.
No, and my breasts are getting huge.
Ew.
They're huge. They're like C cups. And then sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what is that white residue? And there's milk. Milk on my pajamas.
Dying.
On my silk pajamas.
I'm going to send you a steak in the mail.
I'm an animal lover. I'm not a fighter like you. You're used to fighting every day. You go in that ring, not me. I'm a lover. And that's why if my baby's watching this prepaid wireless, just know that I love you. Yeah, so I'm not as tough as you. I think I'm a little soy boy, sadly.
Wow. Well, we still love you.
Do you? Because
kind of.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It seems like you lost a lot of love and respect. Because I don't want to eat the suffering of animals. Do you think Hillary Clinton drinks adrenochrome?
Drinks what?
Adrenochrome, the blood.
Is that the? Oh yeah. No, I really do think that a lot of celebrities do.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
That's kind of why I stopped eating meat, because they say when the cow gets factory farmed, that they release cow adrenochrome, and that when you eat the burger from McDonald's, it has the meat of over 1,000 cows because of the way it's ground up.
Oh, actually, it's not even any meat in the
Yeah, it's probably human or whatever.
No, it's like
binders?
cardboard and stuff. Like if you leave it out for months, it stays the same.
Yeah, no, that is true. And then did you see a bunch of people got listeria after Donald Trump worked at McDonald's? Did you see how there was
No.
it was an E. coli outbreak, Jimmy, or listeria?
I think it was listeria.
There was a listeria outbreak because the quarter pounders are the only burger that come in supposedly fresh, not frozen. And a bunch of quarter pounders, people got sick. And it was like 2 days after Donald Trump went to McDonald's and worked there. And first person to go from fry cook to president. I think that's one of the greatest American comeback stories of all time.
Totally. I love a good comeback.
Yeah, I do too. And this is why, speaking of comebacking, let's play this next clip.
It's gonna really get
Now
good
this
now.
is crazy. Now this is a spank battle. What are the rules to this match?
This is a paddle on a pole match. And I got in so much trouble for this.
With who? With the
With Vince
FCC?
McMahon.
Vince got mad at this?
Yeah.
I think he would like this. That seems pretty good right there.
For
I'll
reference,
tell
it
you
says
why he
spank
got
me.
mad at the end.
Okay, you're kind of flashing your bum, showing the, working the crowd. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That's Tori, right?
I totally paved the way. Yes, that's Tori.
Okay, now you switch. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm still confused on the rules, but we'll figure it out as we go.
So I got yelled at because I didn't hit her hard enough.
Actually, I'm kind of on Vince's side. I think it should have been. I mean, let's be real. Y'all were handing that paddle to each other. I mean,
I came back to Gorilla, that's like, the behind the curtain.
yeah.
And they were like angry at me. And I was like, what did I do? And they're like,
It's not hard.
you didn't hit her hard. And I was like, she's my friend. Like, this is kind of a funny match. Like,
Yeah, it's a gimmick. It's
Yeah.
it's obviously a kind of a troll match. That's just the hot ladies spanking each other. Did you ever feel pressured? Because I know that we're gonna get into some clips where you kind of had a sexual romance. Did they ever want you to have a romance with a woman? Did they ever talk about that?
no, but there was an entrance I did with Victoria a lot where she would lean over and I'd give her a kiss. I wouldn't say it was a relationship
Oh, yeah, you
with
would.
a woman.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah,
but that is pretty edgy for TNT or what? This is on. What was this on?
WWE.
Oh no. But I'm saying what channel was not TNT? That's WCW.
Oh, back then, what channel were we?
USA.
Maybe
It was
USA.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but USA, even though it's a cable network, that's pretty edgy.
Yeah.
To girls.
Well,
to
then they
kiss.
deemed me too hot for TV, so they tried to put me on SmackDown. But I was only there for a month because it was on a different network. And they had to bring me back to Raw because at the time we were rated R.
Was SmackDown considered edgier than Raw?
No, less edgy.
Okay, so Raw was the edgy one.
Yeah.
SmackDown was less edgy. Well, as a kid, I never really noticed that. And I'm sure you probably had. I don't know how much you want to get into it, but what kind of Me Too did you get from these wrestlers? Did you ever get Me Too'd by any of them?
What is Me Too'd?
You know what it is. You know what it is, where they put you on the casting couch and they say, and Stone Cold Steve Austin says, "You want to chug some of these beers, sister?" I don't know. I forget what Stone Cold Steve Austin said, but they didn't ever try to pressure you. Being a woman, I would think that might be vulnerable in a man's job. Did you ever? Feel
No, not for me. I think it's, really how I carried myself.
So it was all kayfabe. Every relationship
I was one of the boys. There was times where they, we call it ribbing you. Like they try to rib me, pull jokes, or like that was it's part of it.
What's the worst rib somebody did to you?
There wasn't really bad ones to me because they know when you're like really sensitive.
Okay.
So, I know people have gotten like shit in their suitcases or, you're
very nice. I'm just saying, Candice, you can just tell you're very nice. So I imagine the guys don't want to be mean to a nice girl.
I'm nice, but I'm also kind of no bullshit.
Okay.
But I'm also just kind of one of the boys. Like, if you pull a little rib on me, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I gotta laugh. I gotta learn to laugh at myself a little bit,
And let's be real, when you're wrestling, like, you kind of have to have ability to laugh at yourself, or else you can't do it.
I just did a paddle on the pole match.
It wouldn't make sense to be make it to the top level of wrestling if you couldn't make fun of yourself a little bit. That would be stupid. Now, this is your friend Tori. Let's play shot number 5. This looks like a shoot to me, but now you're telling me you're friends with Tori. Let's play the clip. This looks violent.
I'm sorry. I was totally trying to help you, but the ref saw me grabbing your hands. Please don't be mad at me. Look, it can't be that bad anyways. You're unveiling your Playboy cover next week. Right?
Oh, how was that so loud? Was that honestly the sound that it made?
Honestly, that was the sound it made. But the pre-story to that is there was a clip where Trish Stratus slapped me. And I thought to myself, I must have been slapped sometime in my life. Like maybe as a bad child, maybe something throughout my years in school. And so when I was gonna get slapped by her, I was thinking, that's just a slap, no big deal. Like we play it off. That hurt so bad. And they were saying like you have to really slap somebody to make it look real. Otherwise, it's one of those moves that you have to do it. And so I was under those pretenses that that's what I had to do, but I also had never slapped anybody. So I'm sorry, Tori, but she took a hit there for sure.
She did, and you took a lot of hits. Now this one is not a hit, but this is a very controversial screen grab, and you act like you don't remember this one, I think probably because you might have wanted to delete it from your mind, but let's show the full screen, 4B. This is the butt water that we were referencing.
Oh, gosh.
Right here. Any second. We got it coming up. It's about to be on the screen. Jimmy, did you put it in the video? Did you put it in, Jimmy?
Oh, I guess the full screen didn't. We'll find the frame, but you want to
look at Jimmy mess up his job again. Jimmy.
We got it.
I like it better when you mess up. Okay.
I think the young college students here feel
No, turn this off, dude. I don't want to see the nipples. I don't want to see the nipples.
We're gonna scroll it.
Okay. Well, the terms of service. I hope we don't get a strike, Jimmy. All right.
So that
yeah, we probably shouldn't show what t-shirt contest.
There we go. It's implied.
Okay, so this is the butt water. So that's Tori.
Yes.
There we go, right there.
Right there, in your face. That was probably a great ratings episode, right?
They were great ratings, yes. But that actually really hurt. Like,
no.
I swear. Like,
my girlfriend does that to me like every night before we go to bed. It didn't hurt at all. That's my favorite part of the day. That's the only way I can go to sleep. She has to do that to me a couple times to knock me silly. So you had a long storyline with Tori. What was your least favorite storyline that you had? Because we're going to go through some of these controversial ones. Be honest.
I don't really have a least favorite. I mean, the hardest storyline was my storyline with Melina because she didn't believe that I deserved the title.
Yeah.
So when you're going up against somebody and you're trying to still learn wrestling, it's really hard to do a match with somebody that doesn't want to do anything with you.
Yeah.
But through that, it taught me, how to work the crowd, how to listen to the crowd. It taught me how to really be a wrestler and to win the championship from somebody who at that time really didn't think I deserved it makes it worth it. Like, she made me work so hard that I got that title.
Did you ever see Sean Waltman, X-Pac, smoke methamphetamines?
No.
He smoked methamphetamines.
Did you see him?
I love X-Pac. No, he was my favorite wrestler, and then he had that breakup with China. I hope Sean's doing okay. And then before we get into some other controversial stuff, and I'm not trying to get
we still got one more of her most iconic one.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I want to say this, though, before we get into it. Why do so many wrestlers pass away young? Why is that? You think it's a lifestyle, or do you think it's a training? What do you think that is?
You know, I think it's because of, you know, when you make it to such a level with fame and stardom, and then, you know, even though we might be on a 3-year contract, they can release us at any time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this unexpected release, not being prepared, and then what are you going to do? Go work at Home Depot? And so this emotional intelligence that they lack on how can we rebuild ourselves. People, even nowadays, they don't want to start from the ground up and rebuild.
Yeah.
You know, and it's actually one of the most beautiful things. So I'm grateful like other companies exist nowadays because it gives people that where wrestling is my life and I don't want to do anything else. They have other opportunities to still provide for their family.
And you have to feel so lucky because you've been in the business that you made it. Think about it's like the NFL or something, the NBA. I mean, there was billions of people that went to wrestling school, wanted to be a wrestler, are wrestling today, and never got to have a storyline with Vince McMahon or have a storyline with Tori or have a storyline with anybody on the #1 rated wrestling show in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to feel pretty lucky, right?
I feel so grateful. I mean, people fly me out, and it's been over 15 years since I've been wrestling. They still fly me out. I just went on a signing last month.
Comments I got, they're like, oh, then a buddy of mine, Adam, he said he sat next to you on a plane in 2009. He said it was the best plane flight he ever been on.
Oh, thanks, Adam.
Yeah, Adam, he's a good guy. He's a vet, too. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. We appreciate that. Now, what's the next clip, Jimmy?
It's the pudding fight.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is
can't
disgusting.
with you guys.
Now, look at this. What were they trying to insinuate? Like they wanted this to be like a. Because every bit, even if it's just goofy and weird, what is this? This isn't very sexual. This is kind of nasty.
It is so disgusting. I mean, I don't even. You have no idea what it's like to try to suplex somebody in pudding. Like, I couldn't even get her out of the pudding. We were drowning. But we tried so desperately.
No, I can't believe, because that's not like water. You can't breathe under that.
I don't even know how it's possible to order that much pudding. I can't with you guys in this match.
And real quick, George, can we go to we might want to go back to this. Can we go to full screen 7, actually, real quick? So you look at this match, and then you compare it, not that one, and then you look at that, you're doing the pudding thing, and then can we jump to full screen 7 real quick? Well, now that pudding match makes a lot more sense when you read this headline. WWE founder resigns after claims he defecated on a female colleague's head.
Wow. He definitely needs an emotional alignment.
Yeah, he needs an emotional alignment for sure. And actually, Jimmy, remind me, I need emotional alignment. Maybe Candice.
And I brought, in case we wanted to recreate it, I brought chocolate syrup. I didn't know if you were interested.
No, we're not recreating that. We're not
Are you sure? Just wanted to check.
I don't want to bash Vince McMahon. I think he's a legend. His wife, Linda McMahon, works for Donald Trump. But tell us, what was Vince really like? You had these storylines. Are we going to play a clip? Let's play SOT number 8.
Well, we got. Can we do the ad read and then we'll end with just Vince?
Oh, speaking of liver health, are you having health problems because you spent 20 years getting punched in the liver while wearing lingerie? Do you have lower back problems because your plastic surgeon went a bit overboard? Jimmy, she doesn't have any surgery. Why would you put that?
Why do you think it's about her? It's our audience.
Okay, you think it's about me? I got punched for 20 years wearing lingerie?
Yes.
You guys are idiots. All right, this pill might help you out. So many of us have a sluggish, fatty liver that makes us gain weight and lose energy. For decades now, your liver has helped you with over 500 key functions every day, like chokeslamming Ronda Rousey. It's time you help your liver. There is a solution. Liver Health Formula. It's an all-natural supplement that helps recharge and protect your liver. So if you're looking to ignite your fat-burning metabolism, boost your energy, and transform how you look and feel, try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of blood sugar formula to reduce sugar cravings when you order today. Try Liver Health Formula by going to getliverhelp.com and claim your free bonus gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Alex. Go get that free bonus gift. Okay, now, getting towards the nitty-gritty of the show. We have to talk about the controversial stuff, and I don't want you to say anything bad about Vince, but Vince McMahon's a very controversial figure, iconic figure. In the storyline, he's the boss, you're the diva, and you date him in the storyline.
Yeah.
That had to be a cool opportunity, right? You probably had to be like, man, I'm with the boss. This is going to put me over big time.
Yeah, you know, for me, any opportunity, there was an opportunity. Vince, when he comes into a room, he has a very commanding presence. There's definitely just this power, energy that you feel. But I have never been disrespected by him. I have never been taken advantage by him.
That's a strong statement because Netflix made a documentary all about it, bashing him. But your experience with Vince was always respectful and nice.
Yeah, I think maybe some people who have had encounters, there's just childhood traumas on both sides, right? Yeah. Like he even did his documentaries. He for the first time shared some traumas as a child.
Yeah.
So you can see how power would, be very effective for him and the life and the legacy he's built. But he has never, for me, or, just never disrespected me, never tried to do something inappropriate to me. Like that storyline was a storyline, and it was exactly that. Afterwards, it was very professional. We move on to the next tape.
Well, let's play shot number 8. This seems like he was enjoying it, though. I don't know if you have that pulled up. Shot number 8. Yeah.
It's just so nice for you to surprise me like this and join me here. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, how is your chest cold?
Actually, it's healed up very nicely.
I do have magnificent healing powers, don't I?
Well, speaking of those healing powers, Vince, I was wondering if you could help me with my labiagitis.
Labiagitis?
With your what?
With my labiagitis.
Labiagitis? I don't think I've ever heard of that ailment before. Is it acute?
Well, actually, it is pretty cute.
I think I can help you, Candice. I'll be the doctor and you be the patient. Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Okay, did you have to memorize the lines for that, or was that improv, or was that all written out, scripted?
Oh, I think it was scripted for me, yes.
It was?
Yeah, I'd like to take credit for it, but that was scripted.
That was hilarious, but when you cut promos, your promos usually weren't scripted, or were those promos scripted?
They're slightly scripted, and sometimes you can go off the cuff a little bit.
You can improv it a little bit, but I guess, wow, because I thought wrestling... And I know, like, we see this is behind the scenes. Obviously, this is going to be, like, set up. They got cameras and stuff like that. But
there's my wand.
Yeah, that is the stripper wand. And look, Vince was smitten with you. You know Vince liked you. Because he could pick any girl. You're not, I don't mean it's disrespectful. You're not the only hot WWE diva.
Yeah,
There's other beautiful ladies there. So he obviously took a liking to you. And obviously, you're very gorgeous. I'm just saying, I think that it was more than just a professional deal for him. I think he really liked you.
Well, I think when you have your own boundaries and, people just know that, so when you know that. When you give the little Iggy, you know that wrestling term, then, maybe it's more than that. He never got the Iggy from me, so it stayed professional.
But the Iggy, talk about it a lot. Dude, were there a lot of wrestling couples? Because you talk about how you drove on the road, you would fly to a city, then you had to go to, literally in your car from hotel to hotel to city to city. If you're riding in a car with somebody, you can almost accidentally fall in love. So were there a lot of, relationships? Did you?
Yeah, there was, because a lot of people there, that's the only time they're meeting anybody. You go home and you're kind of unpacking, repacking, and just getting back on the road. So there was a lot of relationships that happened within the business.
What's the strongest drug you saw somebody take? Did you see somebody pop a lot of perks?
Yeah.
Look how serious. Candice goes from smiling to not smiling, Candice. I feel like,
it was actually a traumatizing experience that I didn't realize when I was in it, because when you have friends taking a lot of pills, and you're so new to that whole realm. I was so young. But the hardest thing is you don't know how to help them not take it.
Yeah.
No, you don't really know how devastating it really is. And even if you say something, they're not going to stop. Yeah,
somebody has to want to stop.
Yeah.
You telling somebody, hey, those are bad. And then when you're wrestling, you're sore, you're hurt. A Percocet probably makes you feel. And then you said you guys party, you drink a little bit, you might be hungover, and you got to go do a match in front of 40,000 people at the, the American Airlines Center in Dallas or wherever you have to wrestle. So I could see why people lean and use drugs as a crutch when you have that hard of a lifestyle.
Yeah, it can be hard for me. I think the gift for me is. Those pills make me vomit, so it wasn't an option for me.
What about Xanax? Did you ever pop any Xannies? I feel like I might need a little Xanax before I run out there and spank another woman.
You want Xanax before you spank a woman?
I might need a little, before I hop into a tub of pudding, I might need a little anti-anxiety medicine. Believe it or not, I run a little anxious always, and then if I hop in the mud and then I'm covered in the...
Pudding's kind of smooth, it's comforting. It's like, laying on a soft waterbed blanket.
It looks like poop.
Yeah. You should try it.
I might. Jimmy, go get a pudding bathtub.
Got
All
it.
right. Now, we played the Vince B-roll.
No, we haven't played. This is a different SOT.
Okay.
Candice chest cold.
We just played the chest cold.
No. This was what was before that video.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I'm so nervous.
I'm nervous too.
Yeah, it's this one's pretty wild.
Contest on the show that's safe and effective.
Dr. Vince McMahon.
Candice, my goodness, you look beautiful.
Thanks, Mr. McMahon, but what's that smell?
It's not me. It's a new cleaning solvent that they have out on the market. It smells a little fishy, doesn't it?
Yeah, not good.
What can I do for you? My match is coming right up.
Well, Mr. McMahon, sorry, but I have this really bad chest cold. And
I think you're doing a good job
being
acting.
God,
I'm not even
I
kidding.
thought maybe you could lay a healing hand on me.
Now he's a pastor, or he has the
Yeah, let's try
Holy
that.
Ghost in him.
In the name of...
Mr. McMahon, it's a chest cold, so just a little lower, please.
Oh, right. Okay, then why don't we try... You have beautiful shoulders. Let's try this. Yeah, is it... Can you feel the...
No, just a little lower.
Maybe around that tiny little waist of yours. Is that feeling? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, just a little bit higher.
A little higher.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Heal this woman's breast! Heal this woman's voluptuous breast! You feel it? I feel it too! Yeah. I feel it!
Why did they take this away from us? Why don't we have this more in society? What happened in society? Everything about that was socially acceptable, and I'm not just saying that sarcastically. It was sexual without really crossing the line. He didn't actually feel your breast, and it was funny. He talked about the Holy Ghost. Why aren't we making content like that anymore? That's legendary.
Wow, that was so fun. I can't believe I did all that stuff.
I can believe it if Vince McMahon wants you to do it. I think I can believe it all.
But you know what? Back in the day when we did all that kind of stuff, we were having a great time.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we had so much fun in the family that we built, and it's like home.
Okay, you talk so positive. Tell us a low point though. I mean, it seems like obviously it's a good thing, but you're making it sound like it was just so easy. I would imagine being a wrestler is like the movie The Wrestler. Even though you're on top at one point, it has to be hard.
It's so hard. I mean, you really have to love what you do to do it. I mean, we travel 300 miles every night, driving ourselves, renting our own cars.
What's the most nights you worked in a year, like that you had matches in a year?
Well, we work 52 weeks out of the year. The only time we're off is when you're injured, and you work about 4 days a week, unless we're overseas, then you're there for maybe 10 days to 2 weeks. Now the company is in many more countries, like they were just in Saudi Arabia, many more places. So
they couldn't do that in Saudi Arabia.
No, they're very respectful when they go there. But it is very grueling. You don't sleep much. And back then, we would go out and hang out afterwards. So I'd sleep maybe an hour or two before getting on a flight to get home. It was hard.
That's the grind. And then you see guys like Logan Paul. Do you think did he pay his dues? Now is he a champion of some sort, I believe? I think he won a belt.
He was. I'm not sure if he still is, but yeah, he did. I think he's just really a talented guy. And, I wouldn't say paid his dues in wrestling. Like, I didn't pay my dues in wrestling, but I was paying my dues in Hollywood for a decade, right?
You kind of have a similar thing. Like, you were trying to make it, and he was obviously very famous if you went there, but you guys both paid your dues. That's why you went to acting school.
Yeah.
You went to Santa Monica College, is that correct?
Yep.
That's a famous acting school.
Yeah, well, that was just college.
But that's a famous place where a lot of actors go to college.
Yeah.
And then, so, I guess you're right.
It's just you got to pay your dues, and it doesn't look the same for everybody,
Yeah, that's true. When you see like people that made it that shouldn't have made it, though, is there anybody you want to call out? Are there any wrestlers? Come on, who got over when they shouldn't have gotten over?
Wow, I was so busy getting myself over. It wasn't really in my era. I was the one trying to prove myself.
Yeah,
or the girls on my level were trying to prove themselves. So it was just like, are we gonna make it or not? I think it was really the girls. Oh, I do remember this one girl. I forgot her name. It was a crazy story. She was really like the Hollywood girl, you know, and when you come into wrestling, you got to shift, you know, you're with wrestlers, like you got to know the locker room and the initiation, and she wasn't falling for that. And she was very, very prissy, and we're overseas, and she was just like acting like she's God's gift to this planet. And they go, I think we're in Thailand, maybe Japan, and there's a street where, you know, you can go to like watch naked ladies. I don't know what that's called. You know what it's called.
No, but Jimmy goes where they have lady boys, right? Jimmy, isn't that what you like?
Red light district, isn't it?
Yeah, you like. Yeah, the red light. Jimmy goes to the lady boys.
Love it.
You go to the booth and you put in $10, and then the lady boys.
It's not even $10. It's like $3. It's pretty good deal.
Yeah,
well, if you buy the
I didn't
cheap
realize
ones.
that.
Yeah, well, I can't.
When
afford
with inflation,
Brokey.
it's probably $10 now.
But they go here just like, you know, kind of touristy thing, and they get this flyer, and that girl is on the flyer. She was actually a stripper over there.
No.
And so she was hiding.
This
So,
Hollywood girl, so she had worked there before as
so
like
the
a sex
boys
worker?
printed out flyers of it and handed it to everybody on the charter jet. She didn't return after that.
No, and strippers think they're so cool.
Yeah.
Why is that? Strippers think they're so cool. It's like, you're a stripper, ma'am. I see you don't want to comment on that. Do you have a lot of friends that have you? Oh, you were in Playboy, but that's different.
Yeah,
than
that's
stripping.
different. Yeah.
It's very different. But
I worked at Hooters.
Oh, I love Hooters.
too.
Candice,
Yes.
tell them what you told us earlier about you wearing a Trump shirt.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Well, you know, leaving LA and, you know, being pro-Trump, we were just scrutinized. And I have 3 kids, so like having somebody yell at me for not wearing a mask or anything to do with MAGA, you know, it was just at a point where I was like, I just want to live my day. And so my husband would always wear Trump shirts. And I'd be like, can you just wear it
He's
at
a badass.
the house?
In California.
And I'm like, and he's like, no, I'll wear it wherever. I'm like, can you just not wear it with me or the kids? And I had a real trauma around it from all the harassing that I got. And so I bought my first Trump shirt, and I wore it to the studios today.
We need a MAGA hat. I wish you would have come. I ordered a bunch of MAGA hats. I would have given you one. Dang it.
But I was telling Jimmy, I said, as I was walking out of my hotel room, I felt more naked today than I felt when I did Playboy.
Why?
Because it's like, this is my values. This is my soul. Like, just getting naked is one thing, you know, in this magazine, but like when you go out there and you reclaim your voice and you stand up for what you believe in a world that has made you believe that you can't do that, that's a really powerful moment.
And it's freeing. Okay, we got to play one last shot. The show's almost over. Shot number 10. Very controversial clip.
All right, yeah, we're gonna.
Candice is Vince's sex slave.
In 2006,
This is one of the most controversial moments in the history of the production.
Portrayed as Vince McMahon's sex slave. This angle involved a plethora of suggestive scenes and implied sexual encounters between the two.
Very nice.
I do have magnificent healing powers, don't I?
At the time, it was viewed as somewhat edgy entertainment,
Somewhat
albeit
edgy.
in bad taste. But in light of recent real-world revelations, including damning accusations from Janelle Grant, where she alleges she was treated as a sexual slave for McMahon and his cronies, it's deeply unsettling.
While referring to her as his porn star.
This storyline blurred the lines between fiction and reality in a way that now seems potentially indicative of a toxic culture rampant with mistreatment towards women in WWE at the time.
I think I can help you, Candice.
What do you say to that? Are you going to put Vince McMahon over?
Yeah, well, this is really clear. You know, you were talking about the terms of wrestling. When I was doing that with Vince, it's a work.
Yeah, it's a work. It's a
You know,
gimmick.
this is an act, you know, we are acting this out. I know full-fledged what's happening. He does, and that's the end of it. What's happening with him and this former employee, you know, that's a shoot. That's something that happened between the two of them, and they got to figure that out, you know.
Vince never did anything to you. See, I like it. I mean, you're just being honest. Said, hey, it was always professional with him. And it's obvious that he was attracted to you. He wouldn't have chosen you to be in all this storyline. And isn't that crazy? I guess my last question is before in the show, isn't it crazy that you were in one of considered the second most controversial storyline in the history of WWE? Isn't that crazy?
It's wild. Yeah. It's really wild.
Well, you're a beast. Well,
Thank you.
I just really appreciate you coming on the show and making time for us. Tell the people how they can find you and support you, Candice.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at Mrs. Candice Michelle. I'm on X at Diva Candice M and Candice Michelle on Facebook. But I also do emotional alignments in our practice, which is the Good Chiropractor House of Healing, where we do physical and emotional alignments. So if you guys are struggling with anything, please reach out.
And I need to reach out real quick because the show's basically over, though. But when you talk about the emotional alignment, I feel like I emotionally eat a lot. So how would I stop from when I'm stressed? I eat. What is just a quick, because we got to end the show, but what's kind of a quick advice to stop the emotional eating?
Yeah, so I got to get to the root cause of what's causing that stress.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of the stress because you're covering up the stress with the eating.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say, like, I would muscle test. I use my fingers to muscle test. And I would say, is this related to work? No. Is this related to your wife? No. Family? Providing. Are you stressed out about providing?
And you can figure that out.
Yeah.
And I'm stressed out about providing because Jimmy's my producer and he's an idiot.
I'm sorry.
Any day now, he can make this ship sink, and I'm very worried about providing. All right, guys, that's been our show. We end the show the same way every time, but before we end it, make sure to go follow Candice on Instagram, Twitter. Go give her a shout out. Tell her I sent you. And once again, thank you so much, Candice, for being on.
Yay, thank you, guys.
DJ, hit that beat. Jimmy stinks at wrestling. He got pinned by my friend Candice Michelle. Raising hell. If you go to jail, I'll make your bail. All right, guys, I'm Primetime 99. Everybody go support Candice. Candice Michelle is an icon. We appreciate her coming on. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week. Peace.